Okay, as I said in the previous video, I was going to help with 4 questions from exercise 2E, giving you some geometric approaches. I think the way that they do these in the textbook and in the solution bank, they always go for the algebraic simultaneous equation 1, and it's just a crazy amount of extra work. So even if you've done these a different way, please have a look at the way that I do them, and they hopefully might give you some help. So it says, given that z satisfies this particular loci z plus 2i equals 3, sketch the locus of z on an Argand diagram. So straight away, I know that it's going to be a circle, and it's going to have center 0, -2, and it's going to have radius 3. So let's draw a sketch of this. So 0, -2 is the center, and it's going to have a radius of 3. I'm going to use my circle drawing tool like this. Oh my gosh, not good. I can move it though. Okay, so that's one of them. And then the second thing I know is it says find the modulus of z that satisfies both the one that we've drawn and the argument of z is pi over 6. So I'm going to just zoom in here. We're now saying that the argument of z of pi over 6, if I was going to draw this on the diagram in red, from the origin it is just going to be a half line like this that has an angle of pi over 6. So the value of z that is going to satisfy both of them is right here. And interestingly, it's only asked for us to find out the modulus of z. So it's actually asking for us to find out the length of this line. It's not actually asking for us to find out what z is equal to. Instead, it wants us to find what the modulus of z is equal to. So this is one where if we can avoid finding what z is equal to, we're going to save ourselves a lot of time if we can go straight in with the modulus of z. So there's a few things we know about this. First of all, we knew that the center of the circle was at -2, so we have it at -2 here. And we also know that we could say that this angle here is 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw on this triangle, and I'm wondering if it might help us figure out what might be going on. Maybe I should kind of connect these together in black like this. So I'm going to redraw that yellow triangle, but I'm going to draw it quite a bit bigger so that we can see if there's any other ways we might be able to solve this problem. I know that this is the thing that I'm looking for over here, and I know that the length of this line here is 2, instead of -2 because I'm talking about a length, and I know that this angle is 90 plus pi over 6, or pi over 2 plus pi over 6. So pi over 2 plus pi over 6, a half plus a sixth is 2/3 pi. So all I need to do in this question now is I think I'm going to be able to apply some of the cosine rule. Do I need a bit more information though? Yes, I do. Oh yes, I do need another piece of information before I do the cosine rule. I haven't used the fact that actually I know how long this black line here is. Hopefully you were telling me this before when I was looking at this. This black line is the radius of a circle. So I'm going to be able to say that this is 3, and now I can do the cosine rule. It's all about like taking your diagrams, putting as much information on as you can, then trying to draw some separate diagrams that might have some things jump out to you. So now that we've got to this stage here, we can literally just apply the cosine rule to find out what the modulus of z is. So it'd be a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2 times b times c cos of 2 pi over 3. So that's 9 equals 4 plus the modulus of z squared minus 4 multiplied by the modulus of z, and cos of 2 pi over 3, I'm feeling super lazy, so we'll do cos of 2 pi over 3 is -1/2 multiplied by -1/2. So 9 equals 4 plus the modulus of z squared, -4 times -1/2 is just 2, plus 2 times the modulus of z. So this is just a quadratic. We've got modulus of z squared plus 2 times the modulus of z minus 5. So I'm going to go to my calculator and I'm going to put in the coefficients as 1, 2, and -5. And I get that either the modulus of z is -1 plus √6 or -1 minus √6, but it doesn't make sense for the modulus to be less than 0. So our answer is modulus of z is -1 plus √6. We don't actually need to find out what z is, we just wanted to find out what its modulus was. Okay, let's try the next one, which is question 14. So they pretty much follow the same pattern here. You're going to sketch this, then you're going to sketch this, and then you're going to find out where they cross over. So to begin with, this one is going to be a circle. The center is going to be 2, 2, and the radius is going to be 2. So when we draw this, we've got some interesting ideas. The fact that the center is 2, 2, and the radius is 2, 2, meaning that it will be a circle that just about touches the side and the bottom. So my terrible drawing of circles means I'm going to move this, and I'm going to be also pretty cheeky, and I'm going to move that there as well. So that's 2 along, that's 2 up. The other thing that we know is that the second one we're going to draw is a half line from 2, 2 with an angle pi over 6. So if I do this one in like a red colour, it's going to have the empty circle there, and it's going to be a half line like this. And the thing that we're looking for is where they cross over right here. So you could try and find their equation separately, but it's just going to be kind of silly because we already know the x-coordinate of this is going to be 2 plus some extra bit, and the y-coordinate is going to be 2 up plus some extra bit here. So I need to find out what is this thing and what is this thing. Bearing in mind, we know that this distance between here and here is the radius of the circle, which is 2. So I'm just going to draw that triangle out again here. So this is 2, this is pi over 6. Now, if you want to find this one here, the shortcut for this, maybe you've done this in mechanics yet, maybe you haven't, is it's just going to be adjacent to the angle, so it's just going to be 2 cos pi over 6, because cos goes with adjacent, and this one over here is going to be 2 sine pi over 6, sine goes with opposite. Now, cos of pi over 6, that is root 3 over 2, so that is cos of 30, yeah, so it's 2 times root 3 over 2, that's just root 3. And this one is 2 multiplied by sine of pi over 6 is a half, so it's just 2 multiplied by a half, which is 1. So this distance on the graph is root 3, and this one is 1. So if I want to find out what this coordinate is, or what this complex number is, the real part of it, it's coming 2 across and then root 3 across. So it's 2 plus root 3. And the imaginary part, the imaginary part is it's going 2 up and then 1 up. So it's just going to be plus 3i. How simple is that question? When you compare that to solution bank, you will definitely want to use this kind of method of drawing diagrams and labeling everything that you know here. Okay, question 16. We are going to sketch these two things, and then we are going to find out the complex number that satisfies both of them. In other words, where do they cross over? So we've got a circle. The center of this circle is 3 minus 2, and the radius is 4. This one is going to be a half line. The center of the half line is going to be coming from 1, 0, and the angle is minus pi over 4 or minus 45 degrees. So I'm going to draw a nice sketch for this. So 3 along, maybe a little bit closer, 3 along, 2 down here. It's going to be the center of the circle, and radius of 4, the radius of 4 is going to be longer than this, so I know it's going to be a circle that's kind of big like that. Again, let's grab this and move it to where it should be. I'd say somewhere like that. I know that it has to be going further here, because if this distance is 3 and it's got a radius of 4, it's definitely got to go that far, and if this is 2, it's got to come up all the way up to here as well. The other one that I then want to draw is the half line, which is going from 1, 0 at an angle of minus pi over 4. So this is the 1, 0 part that we've got here. That's my 1. And it's coming down at minus pi over 4. Now this is the really, really tricky part, but I'm hoping that you might be able to spot. A minus pi over 4 is minus 45 degrees, and that gradient is minus 1. Now minus 1 has a special property, right? Every time you move 1 across, you're moving 1 down. So look what's happening here. As you're moving between the 1 and the 3, you're moving 2 across, and you're moving 2 down. So tell me about this half line and where this half line is going to travel as the gradient of the line is minus 1. I'm going to do it in blue. So it is actually going to travel through the center of the circle. And this is about spotting all of these different things at the same time and thinking, okay, well, it's got a -1 gradient. The center of the circle is 3 minus 2. It's going 2 across and 2 down. Yep, it's going to go through the center of the circle. So all we need to figure out now is what this value is of where they're going to cross over. Let's say this is the one down here that we are trying to work out. Now, we know some things about this. Let's see if we can add some things to the diagram. First of all, we know that this radius of the circle is 4, and we can pretty quickly work out the radius of this because we've actually got, in this section here, a really neat triangle. That's 45 degrees, or pi over 4. That's also 45 degrees, 2 and 2 here. It's definitely isosceles. So if I just drew a quick mini sketch of that triangle with the 2 and the 2, well, it's just Pythagoras, isn't it? So to find out this length that's over here, it's going to be the square root of 2 squared plus 2 squared. So it's the square root of 8, which is 2 root 2. I'm going through these a little bit quicker because hopefully you've been able to do some of these by yourself already. So now if I want to figure out how things are moving around, what's going on with all of this, well, we have got some information that we can do here. Oh, actually, maybe I didn't even need to do that bit. I'm going to see if I can figure out doing this in another way. I guess what we could have done instead is we could have had a look at this triangle. It's always fun seeing different ways that you could do these things. This is also going to be 45 degrees because of the fact that they are corresponding angles. I shouldn't really call it 45. I should be calling it pi over 4. Now, if the hypotenuse is 4, we can do like a similar thing to what we've done earlier on. If I called this A and this A, we would have A squared plus A squared equals 4 squared. So 2A squared is 16. And so A squared is 8, and so A is the square root of 8, which is 2 root 2. So this is 2 root 2 across, and this is 2 root 2 down here. So actually, I don't think I really even needed to do this bit, but hey, it's part of the problem-solving process. So remember, we're trying to describe what is this coordinate that we've got. Okay, well, we're going from the center to this. Let's start off with the x-coordinate. We are moving 3 across, and then we are moving a further 2 root 2 across. So it's 3 across and a further 2 root 2 across. Now for the y-coordinate, we've already moved 2 down, so it's -2, and we're coming a further 2 root 2 down. So we're coming, we've gone across the x direction to get here, we're moving down 2, and we're moving down a 2 root 2 to get to this bit. So it's going to be a -2 and a -2 root 2, meaning that the complex number is 3 plus 2 root 2. We can either put a plus or a minus. I'm probably going to put a -2 plus 2 root 2 I. And that is the complex number that satisfies both of them. Much, much, much neater and more elegant, but maybe a bit trickier to find, but the algebra is much neater. Hopefully you don't mind that I figured out this thing over here. I don't know if it was that important, but you know, it's part of what it means to problem solve. Try out different things, see what information you need, see what information you have. Okay, we're going to look at one more here. This one would be horrible to do coming up with all of the Cartesian equations, so we definitely want to do this geometrically. It says if the complex number z satisfies both the argument of z is pi over 3 and the argument of z minus 4 is pi over 2, find the value of z. So in other words, find out where they cross. So we're going to have some half lines here. One of the half lines is just being drawn from the origin with an angle of pi over 3. The other one is going to be drawn from 4, 0. Remember, you're always subtracting this number, so it's going to be from 4, 0. And it has an angle of pi over 2. Now, pi over 2 is 90. So I'm going to draw it at 4, 0, and I'm going to say that the argument, is 90 degrees. Remember, it's always being measured in this direction. So this is 90 degrees. This is also 90 degrees. And the thing we are interested in is this z value that you've got right here, that red dot. Now, we know that distance is 4, so maybe it's going to be handy if we draw ourselves another triangle. That's pi over 3, that's 4. Well, if I want to figure out what that coordinate is, that red one, all I really need to do is find out the length of this line here. I'm going to call it y. It's obviously going in the y direction, and you can just see here that tan of pi over 3, it's going to be a trig triangle, isn't it, is equal to the opposite divided by the adjacent. You should know what tan of pi over 3 is. Tan of pi over 3 is root 3. So root 3 is y over 4, and so y is equal to 4 root 3, obviously multiplying up by the 4 there. So we know this distance is 4 root 3, which means that the complex number which satisfies it, the red dot that we're talking about here, is 4 across and 4 root 3 up. So it's 4 plus 4 root 3. The last thing it wants us to do is to find out the argument of z minus 8. Now, the z that it's talking about here is our red dot. So we are going to draw a half line that goes from 8, but also goes through that red dot. So let's have it going through, that should be an empty circle. Let's have it going through 8, and it is going to be a half line that must also go through that red dot, because it's the same z in all three of these things that we've got here. Hopefully you will have spotted that if this distance here is the same as it is over here, then we've got like a fully symmetrical diagram, right? We've got an isosceles. So this must be pi over 3, but the argument is always measured from the real axis in an anti-clockwise direction, and so it will be pi minus pi over 3, which is 2 pi over 3. So for part B of this question, the argument of z minus 8 is going to be 2 pi over 3. I would highly recommend you going and looking at these questions in the solution bank. They are an insane amount of algebra and simultaneous equations and rejecting solutions and all sorts of stuff. These are by far the neatest ways of looking at these. They are harder, right? I've obviously been teaching for like 10 years, so it's easier for me to spot some of these things. But this is the kind of mathematician you want to become. You want to become the mathematician who draws diagrams, thinks of quick ways of doing things rather than just ploughing on with a particular method. So I've just got one more skill that I'm going to show you for exercise 2E, what a huge exercise it has been, and then we will move on to the last part of chapter 2.